Hello, how are you today? Well, I'm great, and welcome to Joan's Sewing Room. Anywho, I hope you're all doing well. I am so far. It's a great day. It's not too warm out. Some other areas of the country, I hear it's pretty hot. It's summertime, or it's getting to be summertime, right? Okay, so I started this 10 by 10 square quilt, and the quilt is 79, let's see, I think 70 by 80, and I'm going to use it for I'm going to give it to my daughter, and she has a queen size bed. I know it's not quite queen size, but I think she can just use it as a top bedspread or something. And it's kind of blasé, as I can say. It's not, it needed some punch. For me, it needed punch. And so I was thinking, what could I do? Now, I named it the Flower Garden Quilt. And so I was thinking, what could I do to make it spectacular? Or maybe not spectacular, but give it a punch, make it cuter. So I was thinking, why not make some flowers? So that's what I've done. And I've made a few flowers, and let me get one off the board here. So this is one of the flowers I made. And it's right now, it doesn't have the light seam to seam on it. I just painted it. So what I have done here is I cut out some squares of fabric, white fabric. And then then I drew a flower on it. Can you see that flower? So from there, I started with, they're not paints. They are, they're called these. And what it is, it's a pencil, but it's an ink pencil crayon, okay? Now, when I first got these, when I talked about them before, I first got them, I didn't know what to do with them. You know, I just saw somebody use it, and I thought, ooh, I could probably use that. And so come to find out, these are permanent because they are ink. Now, the way you use these is that you take something that you are making after you draw it on the fabric, and then you would outline your flower and you'd color it in. Now there's two methods, or even three. You can color it in. You can add a little bit of water to it, and that will make it look like watercolors, or it'll enhance it like this, see? So, and then it will, or you can use something like this. So what this is a paint medium. And a paint medium you can use on dry fabric, you can use it on wet fabric, and these you can use on dry or wet. If you wet it, you get more of an intense color. The same with this. Also, this will help it stay in the fabric longer. So meaning you can wash and dry this flower, and the fact is that it is permanent, it's not going to come out. That's a good thing. But I still will put in a color catcher.
When I go to wash the quilt, I will put a color catcher in the wash.
I've learned my lesson with that one. So right now I have made, let's see, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 flowers. I need to make 2 more flowers, and then to fill in the empty spots that I have. And then I want to add some leaves. because the flowers just kind of look like they're floating in space right now. And I figured if I put some leaves on it, even if I put a stem on it, it'll make it look like it's grounded. I was looking at other flower, mentioned this, and I showed it to my 2 friends. They said, oh, I like that, it makes it look so cute. Before it was just blah, because all my flowers in the quilt patches are all different, and they're from little tiny to, you know, maybe this big. So it just wasn't, you know, gelling with me. There is some duplicates in it, which is fine. Maybe there's just too many colors in the quilt, too many. So I figured if I were to put flowers in, it kind of grounds it, and it kind of, you focus in on the flowers, not so much the squares, and it makes it, you know, like, wow, that's cute, you know. So that's where I'm going with this. So right now I am drawing out some leaves, and then I will paint them, cut them out, and then after they dry, I'll attach them to the flowers. Now, along with that, I'm using this product. Now, this is called Light Seam to Seam, as you can see. And what's good about it is that it's 2 layers. It's actually 3 layers. Okay, so it's got paper here and paper here, and in between the paper it has sticky webbing. So what I would do if I was to cut out a design, I can either draw it on here where the graft is. I can put my design on, and I can put my design on by peeling the 2 pieces apart where the webbing is and laying it on the webbing, and then on the other side I can peel that off, and that'll stick to my project. So that's another thing. So this is a really good thing to have. You can get them in like 8x10 sheets, or you can get them in a roll. The roll obviously is more expensive, but if you're doing projects like I do, like collage work, or like this, putting this, using this, or you could use interfacing, you know, that's sticky, that you iron on, interfacing, and you can use that. Along with this, I still have to iron them on to adhere the glue to the fabric. And I don't know if I am going to sew them on. I might have to use my Husqvarna to sew each flower on. I haven't decided. But I know that you iron them on, and then that makes it adhere to the fabric. But, you know, it's when it's a quilt, I'm thinking it's not like a collage. A collage is basically something that's a picture that you make, like my bagel collage or the horse one that I'm making, and you'll see that in the last 2 videos I just posted, and one or the other. But anyway, it's called horse collage, and I've just started it. But in that instance, when you are working on something like that, it's not going to be sat on. It's going to be something that you're going to hang on the wall. So most likely it's not going to be washed, and it'll be in a frame, and that's it. But when it's a quilt and you have something like this, even though it's ironed on, it could possibly still come off. So 2 things. I could go ahead and applique these on. I'm going to iron them on, I'm going to applique them on, And then I'm also going to use my Juki to quilt it. Okay, so like I said, I can just color these in. This is, let me see what color, leaf green. This is a leaf green pencil. It's like a, you know, like color pencil, but it's ink instead. So just color these in. Now I'm using the dry method on this. Go around, outline them really well, like so, and then the stem. So now I can take water. I have a paintbrush here with water. And when I apply the water to the leaf, it starts to make it look like something like a watercolor. Just kind of spreads out the green. Now either I can wet my fabric and use the pens, which you can do that. I've done that. And what it does is it intensifies the color. Now with the water and on the fabric, the outlines seem to spread out. See, and it's already kind of, it's wet there obviously, and so it's kind of green. Sometimes it can get really, it just spreads out. I mean, if you're using a picture, you can use that for your advantage. Like when I use this on my cottage embroidery, I went ahead and painted the sky with this and the mountains, and so in the sun, and so with the sun kind of bleeding the yellow, I just used that in the painting and it made it look better. Or, you know, I just used it. So that's one way. Okay, here's another one. So I think with okay, this is the paint medium. It's the white there. It almost looks like a glue, like Elmer's glue. Remember Elmer's glue? Okay, so this looks like Elmer's glue, but it's a paint medium. So in this case, I'm going to, in this leaf here, I have a paintbrush that has a little bit of water on it. And I'm just going to dip my paintbrush into the paint medium and put it on the leaf. And what the paint medium does, it keeps your fabric wetter longer, and also it enhances the color. So as you can see, it's turning the green, the outline darker. Now, when I hit it with the pencil, it'll definitely enhance the color. Just like that. And then if I color it in, there you go. So there is the leaf, and that is with the paint medium. So there are two different things there. You can do it with water or the paint medium, or you can do water and paint medium too. So I'll do that. Okay, so now I have the paint medium on there and the water. So I'm going to just color it in. Now, as you see, it's getting darker. So what I could do is just leave this side because maybe it'll be in the light. So we're gonna want to keep it lighter. If you get it too dark, let's say this is too dark, then I would take a tissue. Okay, so let's say that one is too dark, okay? So what you do is you just take a tissue and you dab it. And what it does is it takes the paint and the medium off and makes it a little lighter. So that you can do that too. So it's really interesting. They're really fun to work with. You just have to remember that that it does bleed a little or onto the fabric, so you got to remember that. Now there's a third way of doing this. You can wet you can wet the whole thing, just damp, not soaking wet, but you can just wet it from the sink, right? Squeeze it out really well, and as soon as it's all wet, of course, the minute you use your pen, it's just going to get really dark. So that's another way of doing it. And the fun thing about this is permanent. It's not going anywhere. It does bleed through, so you got to remember that. It will bleed through, so I have it on a plastic shipping bag. So it will bleed through. So you have to remember that. I was thinking of using it on the fabric itself by, making a flower on there, but then again, it bleeds through, and it might bleed from around, the outline. And so that's why I cut them out of the pieces of fabric that I painted them on, because they were bleeding and they had like a, like this. You can see that. This halo it's got a green halo around it. So you ought to check these out. If you're into painting at all, check these out. Now there's different kits you can buy. Mine is, I think it has 12, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 12 in here, I think. Let's see. I better count again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, I have 12. You can get them up to like 36 in a box. I got them on Amazon, and they're really cool. I really like them. So you get indigo deep blue, sea blue bark, which is kind of like a grayish black, ink black, so it's black, right? So this one is orange, and it's called tangerine. And this one is kind of named after fruit and vegetables and just, earthy things. Poppy red. Let's see, what is this one? This one's leaf green. There's another leaf green. You could try that one. Then you have apple green. Oh, I was using apple green. And this one is fuchsia. And this one's pretty. It kind of, you can use fuchsia like for pink. I use it with the red. And that's another thing is, you can add colors to these. You could add colors to the leaf if you wanted to. Make the leaf look a little like it has a little bit of fuchsia in it. So you can build colors. So like once these dry, to not get it to bleed, after they dry, you just go back over with a pencil, and you can enhance the color on the leaf or the flower or whatever you're making. Or you could, and and you can build colors. So once you have this color, I could go over and, you know, like I said, I can add this, or I could add some yellow. So maybe this leaf is dying, right? So I could add some yellow to it and maybe give this leaf a little different color. Make it look more realistic. You can add, you can blend them together. So that's pretty cool too. Let's say it's, yeah, let's say it's dying. Okay, so we could do that. You could add a little red. Maybe it's a leaf like an oak leaf that's going to come off in the fall. So you can add a little red to it. And then you can go back and maybe smear it a little bit with a tissue, like so, and smear it so it looks more realistic. So there's all kinds of things you can do with these pens. And the cool thing is they're permanent. I've had all these for a while and I never did anything with them until I started watching a YouTube video, several of them, and they were sharing how to use these. And I thought, okay, that's exactly what I have. And so of course I had to come up to my studio to see if I did, and I do. So I just wanted to share this with you. So this is, I'm going to show you a picture of the quilt with the flowers on it, and then I will show you a picture with some of the leaves on it to give it more grounding. And also I could do like a stem. Now this is a leaf green, but it looks more like a gray or something. Weird. I think I'll use the apple green. I like that better. So I can make some stems. Like so. And then I'm going to attach my leaves. I could draw a leaf. Like so. You can do that. And then of course color them in. Now with these, I would definitely put the seam to seam on this, or if you have Wonder Under, which is another, it's an iron-on product similar to this. You can use that to put onto your fabric. So there's all different ones. I mean, there's not a whole bunch, but there is different ones. So we're pretty, I don't know if I have any Wonder Under. I'll have to see. I get all mine except for the seam to seam. I get it from a secondhand store, because if people, you know, are don't want it anymore, they donate it, and I just keep my eyes open and see, ooh, I could use that, so I'll take it. Save money there. So this is stem with, now I'm just using water right now, but you can see how it gets like a halo. So that's why I cut it out of the white fabric, so it doesn't, so it looks neater on the picture. So I hope you see and get it what I'm saying. I know it was upside down. I'm sorry about that. That's not cool. I don't realize it until I go to edit, or actually I realized it now. So anyway, here's another one. Touch in here. It's off the table there. So they're really easy. They're fun to play with. I probably wouldn't let my grandchildren or children play with them because they are pretty spendy. I think that box was probably $20 or $30, but to me it was pretty well worth it. I could be a little high on the price, I just don't remember. But so I'm just going like this, like I said. So what I'll do is I'll do all these leaves, and I'll do some stems, and then after it all dries, then I'll go back and I will cut them out, and I will put them behind that. I'll show you a picture at the end, okay? Alrighty. I hope you learned something from this. I'm always learning. So I want to say thank you for subscribing. I'm up to 230 subscribers. I am so happy with that. I remember when I started off with 1 and then it got to 5. and so I would like to see my numbers rise, and as you know, subscribing is free. They don't charge you extra for subscribing. If you ring the bell, it's called a notification bell, so each time I post, it will pop up on your phone, your TV, whatever. And if I do it right, because the last 2 videos I did, it went to private, and I was like, I gotta find them. They're not on TV. I mean, I can see them on my reel, because I have, it shows all the videos I have on my YouTube channel, but out in TV world, it's not there. So I had to go back in, and what I did was I just deleted them and I republished them, but I put it under public, not private. Private, it doesn't go anywhere. You don't see it unless I say you can see it. So, anywho, yeah, public. And at first I thought, why is it only showing one view, and one was only 1 view and the other one was like 3? And I know the 3 was me watching it. Nobody else was watching it. So when I put it on public, all of a sudden it gets like 21 views. So I knew that's what was going on. Tricky. Gotta watch out for those things I do. All right, so when I get these leaves done and they dry, then I will cut them out like I said, and I'm going to put them up with the flowers. I'll take a picture of it, and you'll see that in the end of this video. All right, thank you. Have a nice day, and I will see you on Tuesday.
Thursday.